What's going on, everybody? C4 here today, bringing you a quick channel update and kind of a state of the union as we get ready for Madden 18 season when the EA access starts on Thursday. And I'm going to say right now, if anyone knows what time on Thursday you get that access, let me know in the comment section below or hit me up on Twitter, because I have no idea and I would like to be prepared for it. So for this channel update, first I'm going to talk about the channel goals, and then we're going to break into some of the video ideas, and I'm looking for feedback so I can kind of do it the best way that you guys want to see. First thing, on a channel update, my goal, I always try to set a goal, is 50,000 subscribers at some point during the Madden 18 season. Now, I believe 50,000, that's like a, you're now entering the territory of a big YouTube channel in the relation of Madden. The Madden market is not massive. There's only a couple guys that have well over 100,000. I would say between 100 and 50. You're kind of you're getting there to a big dog, and that's where I think a 50K for me personally, and that's where I'm going to start taking this real serious. But the big thing for Madden 18 is I'm ready to absolute bust my ass to try to make this thing work. In my real life, most of you know, if you've been a long time subscriber, I do have a kid. He's 6 months old, and for, in terms of money, I am going to be going all in here for YouTube, at least in the beginning. I've had some job opportunities, I've had some interviews, I have, obviously 2 diplomas, so I can get a decent job, but a lot of the jobs are falling on when Madden 18 releases. And if you're not first on the gun, if you're not getting out the best content possible in the early days of Madden, you're not going to grow during that season. So I've declined a bunch of job offers so I can really go balls to the wall during this Madden 18 season. And it's a gamble, man. Like I said, you got a family. As a business student, YouTube being your main source of income is definitely not an ideal situation. You want the security of another employment, supplemental income. But I'm going, man. I'm fucking going for it. If it doesn't work out, if we're not really taking off right away, probably around November, the videos may slow down a little bit because I have to, put my family first. And I definitely have no lack of confidence that I can find an actual serious job and still continue to YouTube. It's just definitely not going to be at the frequency of as right now, where I take this as my full-time. Let's go for it. But I can say right now, 50,000, that's where I'm trying to get to. And for all you guys that have been sticking with me back, even before last year's big boom period, I greatly appreciate it. My family appreciates it. Around 50,000. I mean, this season, you may start getting some goddamn clothing. You may start getting some merch, stuff like that, to take Beast Mode TV C4 to the next level. So stay tuned for that. But I will say before we jump in, big shout out to everyone that's been sticking with me before. I really do appreciate it. And hopefully we can make something special here happen in Madden 18. So jumping into the series, I want to try to make this quick. This is like the 4th time I've tried to record it because every time it's gone over like 10 minutes. I don't want it to be super long. So we have the Eagles Connected franchise mode starting up once again. I've done it for 5 years. Why would we change things up? I know a lot of YouTubers are afraid to be their favorite team and talk about their favorite team because they want to be vanilla, because they don't want to upset any other subscribers. You're not going to get that here on Beast Mode TV. I'm an Eagles fan. We're always going to be talking about the Eagles. But because it's kind of clear that Madden 18 is not going to be any different within the realm of Connected franchise mode, what I'm going to do to make it different is we're going to be running a Connected franchise mode universe. So I've already kind of hinted at this before, but I'm going to have an NCAA series that's going to correlate with the Eagles Connected franchise mode. Essentially what's going to happen is we always use real rookies. So in NCAA, we're going to be, for the Eagles for example, we need a running back. So you're going to be able to watch Saquon Barkley, Darius Geis, the running backs, the top running backs in this year's draft class in the NCAA series, and then you're going to be able to finally import them into the Eagles, and you kind of have a backstory. And this also has the opportunity that maybe some guy's a sleeper that we have no idea was going to be good. What if he dominates? What if he wins the Heisman? Then we're going to be able to import him and play with them in our Connected franchise mode. So how the uploads are going to work is, I think in the morning of the days that I plan on uploading Connected franchise mode, you're going to get a quick NCAA video, which will probably, I'm thinking, maybe highlights of the game of the week, and then just looking at box score stats of the top rookies. And then in the afternoon, evening, you're going to get the Eagles Connected franchise mode video. So I'm trying to find a balance so it's not an overkill. It's not going to take you all day to stay up with this series. But I think that's going to be something that no other channel is doing. It's really going to be an immersive universe that you're going to be able to see all the rookies come draft time. It's not just names you may have heard of. You're going to be like, oh man, I can actually go watch this NCAA video week 4 and watch this quarterback that Beast Mode's trying to draft, and he looked goddamn sick. These are his highlights, all this stuff. I feel like that kind of a universe, it gets me real pumped because it is something different that you're not going to see anywhere else on the YouTube. So let me know, you guys, what you think about that in terms of having an NCAA in the morning and then Eagles in the night. So that is Connected franchise mode. Next up is NFL videos. We always talk about NFL. This is really a football channel, so you always get the Eagles hype and grade videos. There's no doubt that the Eagles are the most popular team and fans of my subscribers. But, you know, it definitely, you know, you can watch a homer get excited, and then during the grades, you can watch me rage if you're not a fan of the Eagles, which is always exciting. But I definitely want to see if you guys want me to touch on other football. I'm kind of thinking maybe in a podcast format, continuing with the C4 podcast once a week. We can talk about the rest of the NFL, we can talk about college football, and we can talk about fantasy, and you guys can ask your fantasy questions there once a week. I think that might be best, say coming out like a Monday or something, recapping the weekend that was and previewing the upcoming week. I think that that's probably the best format if you guys want to see more NFL content that's not just Eagle based. So I'm definitely looking for feedback on that, what you guys want to see for NFL videos. Next up is Mutt. For Mutt, obviously, you know, I rip on Mutt a lot, but because I pre-ordered the Madden game, pretty much all the bonus was Mutt content. So I'm going to be diving into Mutt real early on. It's going to be heavily sarcastic. It's going to be a lot of trolling, but there will be a little bit of Mutt content. If it catches on, we will continue, but I'm not super... You know, I'm not anticipating that it will. In terms of Mutt squads, people are like, man, you got to do Mutt squads with like Parent Crow and those guys. Geographically, we probably won't ever be able to play an online actual game because we're on opposite sides of the world. But Mutt Squads is kind of interesting, but wouldn't get your hopes up unless there's a significant demand for it. Next up is Relocation Connected Franchise Mode. Unless Honolulu is a team, because I definitely want to do Honolulu, there's probably going to be a big wait. I'm going to start with Eagles Connected Franchise Mode, and then once that kind of, you know, expands and starts to get a little stagnant, if it does, that's when I'm going to break out the Relocation Connected Franchise Mode, very similarly to how I released the Toronto Huskies this year. You know, that's pretty much where I am with Relocation Connected Franchise Modes. They will eventually come unless people are like, man, start a Relocation Connected Franchise Mode right now, right away, because I don't want to have too many things on the go at once, because that's how you get mixed up and you screw up with your upload schedule and stuff like that, and you get burnt out of the game. So I think you're going to probably see the Relocation Connected Franchise Mode start like November, somewhere around then. Just off the top of my head. And lastly, realistic rebuilds, like my most popular series. We got almost 2 million total views last year, so I'm very, very grateful that you guys dug those. There's gonna be a slightly new format as in the rebuild itself. The video is still going to be 40 minutes to an hour, so it's going to be a deep dive. You're going to have to be in for the long haul. But basically, the common denominator in last year's rebuilds was we were trading veteran players for high draft picks. I'm going to try to make it a little bit more realistic than that. Everyone does know that the realistic rebuild from last year was just in comparison to the other rebuilds on YouTube where everyone traded for 9 first-round draft picks. You signed Khalil Mack and Antonio Brown, made a bunch of stupid player trades. But this year, not only is it going to be that, it's going to be more realistic within the realm of real football. So I hope you guys do enjoy that. I'm still thinking we do 1 upload a week because it doesn't oversaturate yourself. You don't get burnt out. There's plenty of other guys that do rebuilds. We're doing 3 or 4 a week, and they were done the whole NFL league. They were done all 32 teams by like fucking the end of September. I think the 1 a week, it gives you something to look forward to on Fridays. Because of the 1 a week, I can do special things where I uploaded the Cleveland Browns rebuild on Christmas Day. So I think 1 a week is still the best format, but again, looking for feedback on that. And lastly, you guys can see in the video description, there is a poll where you guys can vote on what will be the first team I do in Realistic Rebuild. I'm going to be doing it during the first 10 hours of EA Access, so you guys get your voices heard, and you get to pick the #1 team that we start off with. And I think, you know, that's kind of cool, I guess. I have no idea what team is going to be. It can go anywhere. So definitely go vote on that right now. I'll probably post the results on Twitter so you guys can know what's going on with that. But that is the State of the Union. Connected Franchise Mode, NFL videos, Mutt, Relocation, realistic rebuilds, and really how important me personally and how much I'm not gambling, but how much I'm really going to be going balls to the wall during this Madden 18 season to try to make the most of my channel. Thank you guys for all of your continued support. I honestly fucking mean it. I know a lot of people, it's like the typical gimmicky YouTuber thing, like, thank you guys for the best. I have the best subs in the world. But I really, from the deep down, bottom of my heart, I really appreciate everything because this is a fucking passion of mine. I get, you know, I have the opportunity to do a job with, you know, that's business and stuff like that. This is so much more fun if I can really make a viable, consistent income with doing that. And there's been months where, like, I could legit make this my job. The fact that I've had a taste of that, and I love fucking doing this. I love interacting with you guys. I love just shooting the shit about football. If we can make it work, I will be forever grateful. But let's see if we can do this damn thing. Let's put our money where our mouth is and have a great Madden 18 season. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you vote in the rebuild poll, and I'll catch you on the next one.